Hey, my Wellish besties. Today's episode is for anyone who's ever had everything fall apart and thought, I have no idea why this is happening, and I guess all I can do is figure out the next step. Today, Cheri Carandanis has lived that in the most intense way. After a brain injury ended her 25-year career as an Air Force critical care flight nurse, she had to face a kind of identity loss most of us cannot even fathom. And somewhere in the middle of the grief, the quiet, and the pure chaos of not knowing who she was anymore, Cheri started painting. What started as a way to just get through the days somehow became the start of a completely new chapter that she never anticipated. This conversation is about to be raw, messy, honest, and very Wellish. It's about the real side of rebuilding yourself, letting go of the version of you that doesn't fit anymore, and finding something unexpectedly beautiful on the other side. Cheri, welcome to Wellish. I'm so excited to talk to you about this.
Thank you so much, Sarah. I think this is going to be a really fun, deep, messy conversation.
Me too. I'm so excited. Okay, amazing. I want to start back all the way at the beginning. So, what flavor are we working with here? I want to know what your life looked like when you were in the Air Force as the critical care nurse. Like, what was the original identity before the shift?
The original identity was the perfect child to start off. I'm biracial. My mother's Korean, and my father is white from Oregon.
Okay, hell
And
yeah.
so we were raised in a biracial home, but my father was also in the military. And so we were a military family. And so I was a military brat. And so we grew up on Air Force bases, and most of my life was overseas. And I graduated from a American Department of Defense school in England. And then I went to college in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Okay,
And
sweet.
yeah, following the lines of being that perfect daughter and that I was going to be a doctor, all the things. And then my sophomore year in college, I just had this gut check, like a come to Jesus moment to where I was like, I don't know that I want to be a doctor because I knew
Mm,
myself. I knew that if I became a doctor, I would be married to medicine. I just knew that about myself. It's all or nothing. And I wanted to be a mom. I wanted to be a wife. And I knew that I would have to sacrifice in that. And so in through speaking with mentors and getting some counsel from people that I trusted, nursing came onto the radar. And I never considered nursing, but I thought, hey, maybe that's like the perfect place for me because it's still in the healing arts. People and connection is what fuels me, and that's the one thing that hasn't changed in my life. But even back then, I needed that. And so I graduated with my nursing degree and got a nice job in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Worked there for about 8 months, and woke up one morning, and these gut checks happen a lot in my life.
God
Woke
bless
up one
them.
morning and was like, I don't want to do this every day. Same people, same job, same city.
Hmm.
I think it's that military brat in me because we moved all the time and we were
Hmm.
meeting new people all the time. And so I drove myself down to the Air Force recruiter's office and said, "Hey, are you guys looking for nurses?" And he's like, yeah, we have these huge bonuses we're offering. You're going to go in as an officer, blah, blah, blah." And I knew that the only branch of military my father would even consider me being a part of would be the Air Force.
Okay.
So I did honor him in that. And I was very familiar with Air Force life. So
Sure.
it just seemed like a natural fit. So I joined the Air Force and loved it. Loved it. Met so many amazing people, had such great experiences. And I started on kind of a med surg floor because I was kind of a baby nurse still. I'd only been working a year. And so they taught me some things. And then I just was like, I need more adrenaline. I want to be either in the ER or in the ICU. And so they were like, well, how about the NICU, like babies? And I thought, well, okay, I'll try it. And I went there and it freaked me out how tiny. I was like, nope,
It
I
is
need something
so
I can
weird.
handle. Like,
Yes.
like, okay, so you need to go to the adult ICU. And I'm like, yes, please. So I went to the adult ICU. Gosh, learned so much there. We had a cardiac ICU, a medical ICU, and a surgical ICU. So we did a lot and we learned a lot. And this was in Biloxi, Mississippi. I was in Keesler Air Force Base. And so, doing that for a while, I was like, okay, that's not enough. Let's let's do something else. Let's become an ICU flight nurse. So I applied and was accepted, and they trained me as a CCAT nurse. And CCAT nurses are critical care air transport team nurses. And what those are, CCAT teams are, we have a doctor who's like an intensivist or like a pulmonologist, a critical care nurse, and then a respiratory therapist. And so the three of us are a team, and we go out to wartime situations. And at that time, it hadn't been used in war yet because it was a new thing, CCAT teams. So we would do just domestic things like taking an ICU patient from one place to another. And so that's kind of how we train too. And so we would be trained to set up mini ICUs in any opportune aircraft during wartime situations. And that was to be able to bring ICU level care closer to the front lines to save more lives. And so it was very exciting to be a part of that. And then 9/11 happened. And so then it was no time like, oh, you're being deployed and you're going to Afghanistan and you're going to be a CCAT nurse in war. And I thought I was prepared, but I was not.
Yeah, can anything even prepare you for that?
No,
Yeah.
no, I was not prepared, but I had an amazing team and we just got through it together and did some really cool missions, really felt like we helped get these men and women back home the best we could. So I did that, came back from that deployment and started feeling, oh, and I had met my husband along the way.
Oh yeah,
And,
proud about you, hon.
yeah, by the way, he's the most amazing guy in my life, but just mention. And we got married like literally days before I went to the flight line to go to Afghanistan. Like it was a
Oh wow.
quick, because we were
Cool.
supposed to get married, but all the plans changed after 9/11. So we decided to quickly get married before I deployed. And so when I came back, husband, now I'm like, okay, I'm not a flight nurse. I'm not an ICU nurse. I'm a wife.
Mm.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I slept in a tent with my team for
Yeah.
months.
I
And
could
so,
picture all the pride and stuff too of the job, the
oh
structure
my,
of the job, to then just like go to like almost like the white picket fence, average American
yes,
life. You'd be like, what the hell is
it
this?
was a mind f. It was like,
Hmm.
ooh, like let's slow things down. Like I think I literally said to my husband, can we just, I love you and I want to be married to you, but can we annul and like start over? 'Cause I don't know how I'm going to make this transition. And so he was so kind and so patient. And we made the transition. And after about a year, more deployments were on the horizon for me. And I wanted to start having kids. I was almost 30. And I was like, I think I might have to leave the military, which was heartbreaking for me because I really did love my time there. But I loved the dream of having children and being with
Hmm.
John more. And so I tried to get out, and they were having a lot of stop loss, and like, nope, nurses aren't getting out, flight nurses aren't getting out, and ICU nurses are definitely not getting out. But there was this 2 week window where they lifted the stop loss, and I hustled, and I got out. I slipped out. And so we got pregnant like the next month with our first son,
Wow.
and things just started rolling. And so we decided, after he was born, we thought, let's go to Oregon because we were in California. That's where I was stationed. And we decided, let's go to Oregon where his family lives and just have some family support while we're bringing children into the world. And so we came up to Portland, and I thought, I need to work. I need a job, and I need it to be part-time. And that's one of the really beautiful reasons of being a nurse is you can really step in and out of the career as your
Hmm.
life and your personal life allows. And so I knew I didn't want to go back into ICU. I felt burnt out. I think all the adrenaline, all the
I could see that.
9/11 stuff, yeah, it left its mark on me. And I thought, no, I don't want to do that. But I didn't know what kind of nursing I wanted to do. I thought maybe recovery room or something like that, OR. But I realized that as an Air Force nurse, I never interviewed for a job because you don't interview, you're assigned. Like
Mm-hmm.
you don't go for interviews. And so
Yeah.
I thought I need interview practice. And so I started looking on, at the time, what was there? Craigslist? I don't know.
I hope not.
They didn't have like these great
Indeed and stuff.
Indeeds and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I just signed up for an interview, and it said hospice, and I thought, oh, it'll just be great interview practice. And so I went in, met her, the nurse manager, and she was so kind. And I said, listen, I just have to be honest. I'm here to practice interviewing skills. I have no intention of being a hospice nurse, but I really need some interviewing skills. And she was just so gracious. She's like, oh, let's just chat. And so we chatted, and at the end of the conversation, she goes, I think you'd be a great hospice nurse. And I thought, are you offering me a job? And she's like, yeah. And I thought, well, why not? Let's see what happens here. And stayed in for 15 years.
Oh my God, no way. That's crazy.
I loved hospice so much. It's just, it was like my vibe. It was like slow, you know, and meaningful and really connecting, and, you know, having the honor of going into those sacred times. You know, that's such a sacred time of someone leaving their lives and their families and their loved ones. And so I learned even more. I learned so much. And during that time, I got my master's degree in nursing leadership and became actually the nurse manager of the hospice nurses. And that was another honor, to actually care for the carers. And so I really, really loved being in that job. And then my children, we ended up having 2 boys, and they started to become teenagers. And I felt like, you know, you think a young mom with little babies, you just need to be there because it's high labor, like, you know, a lot of diaper changes. But teenagers, they need like presents. They need
They're
presents.
alive.
They're driving now. There's girls involved. Like,
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what, John? John and I talked, and we were like, I need to be home. I just need to be home more, and maybe do something on the side. Like, and I fell into parish nursing for our church, where I just kind of was like a community health nurse for our church, which was perfect. It was hardly any hours, but it kept my nursing hours active. So I did that for a while, and we were living our happy little life here in Oregon. And then in 2019, I suffered 2 separate brain injuries, and they were 6 months apart.
Oh my God.
And the first one was a concussive type. I fell and hit the back of my head, and I went to all the treatments, all the therapies, and, you know, the concussion specialist said, you know, a few months, you'll be back on your feet, no problem. And after a few months, I was like, gosh, I feel like I'm not getting better like I should have been. The dizziness, the tinnitus, the brain fog, I just wasn't, it was like the gears kept slipping. Like I just wasn't connecting. And I hated that feeling because obviously being a nurse,
You're very in control.
yes, all the time. And the whole perfectionism thing, you know, just, I was always like on, and I could do it all. I could always do it all. And so going into brain injury was like, whoa, this doesn't feel good. I don't like it at all. And so I was like panicking all the time.
On top of trying to heal from the brain injury.
Yes. And fully believing like, oh, it's a concussive injury. I just need to take it easy, do all the therapies. I'll be fine. 3 or 4 months, I'll be fine. Well, it wasn't happening. And then at 6 months, and I still wasn't really getting better, I was in a car accident with my father.
Oh my God. Wow. 2 totally separate events. That's crazy.
Yes. And that car accident undid me. That was the one, my speech went, my gait was
Cheri, that's
off.
horrible.
It was awful. It was awful. And so I started rehabbing again, fully believing I'm going to be back to the girl before I fell and hit my head. Like that was the goal. Be that girl. Be that girl again. And after about a year of rehabbing, I realized I'm never going to be able to go back to nursing. I just did not trust myself to make critical decisions, be able to critically think in the moment. My goal every time I step into my nursing role is my patient's safety and well-being. And I just couldn't trust myself. I just
What
knew
was that like? Like coming to that realization, having to admit that to yourself.
it was like a crucifixion. That's
Yeah.
what I felt like. Like I just lost who I was, who everyone thought I was. Like I was Cheri the nurse.
Mm-hmm.
Let me call my friend Cheri the nurse and show her this rash, and Cheri's capable, and so we'll call her to help. And I just loved being that person, that very capable person. And then all of
Mm-hmm.
a sudden, here I was, where my husband had to help me walk, help me make decisions. My cognitive damage was crazy, which made me start to really panic inside because I thought, I can't even think the way I used to think, let alone do the things I used to do. And I fell into a very deep depression, and anxiety riddled me because the main problem with my vestibular system was that my brain just was not talking to my feet. And so any anything that wasn't familiar to me, like a flat, straight ground, the brain was overworking and like, oh, what are we doing here? And so kind of go into fight or flight. And so I went through a lot of brain rehab, and trying to get back to where I was. And after, I don't know, 2 years, I was like, I'm getting better. I'm getting better, but I'm not who I was. Like, that's
Mm-hmm.
not coming back, like just that confidence. And so I had to I decided, you know what? I'm focusing way too much on my physical recovery. I need to start doing some soul work, some really deep soul work. And the kids, I think of it because the kids call these things called glow ups. Like
Mm-hmm.
a girl
Mm-hmm.
turns a certain age and she has a glow up, and even guys do. And I was like, this is my soul's glow up. Like that's when
Yes.
I hit my soul's glow up. And it was later in life, but I was brought to my knees. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what my purpose was anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And thank God for my husband, because he literally was a saint through this whole process. And he walked me through, and he reminded me who I was. He's like, Cheri, you are still you. You
Mm-hmm.
still love people. You still love connection. You, you are now learning that perfection is not going to be a part of your life because you
Mm-hmm.
can't be perfect anymore. Like
Mm-hmm.
so I had to really do, and there's this saying in Buddhism that says, when the student is ready, the teachers appear.
Oh, I love
And
that.
isn't it so good? And
Yeah.
that's the common thing, like when the student is ready, the teachers appear. And the second half to that, which I didn't realize until I was like learning this. So when the student is ready, the teachers appear. When the student is ready, the teachers disappear. And so
Interesting.
it's this process of mastering
Yeah.
what the teachers have come to teach me. And so I started noticing teachers were appearing in podcasts, in YouTube videos, in books being recommended to me, conversations with someone at the coffee shop that I don't know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
a sermon, a church, like
Mm-hmm.
these teachers started to appear because I was finally ready to receive what they had. And so this happens a lot. Like we'll read a book years ago. I'm like, oh, it was a good book. And we'll
Mm-hmm.
read it again. And we're like, holy
Holy
shit.
shit. Yeah.
Oh my God, it changed my life.
Yes.
We weren't ready in the same way. And
Mm-hmm.
so that just fascinated me. I was like, oh my, well, what is there then? What am I going to learn? I'm ready. I am
Mm-hmm.
ready, Lord.
Give it
Like,
to me, please.
give it to me. And
Yeah.
he sure did.
Yeah.
Oh
It
my
sounds like a
gosh.
lot of psychological whiplash,
Oh,
that I didn't choose this, but I
yes.
like the surrender mentality that you have. Any huge plot twist that I've ever experienced, that's what's happened to me. Is that it's like my
Yes.
moment of like, oh my God, I really can't control shit, and like I just have to figure out what's going
Absolutely.
on.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
And, along the way, there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of bitterness, there's a lot of
Mhm.
resentment, there's a lot of why
I
me?
was gonna ask you that. What were like the early thoughts and narratives you were telling yourself?
Oh, I'm useless. I'm a burden.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never be who I was. And that was the goal. I'll never reach that goal. So then what purpose do I have in life?
Mm-hmm.
I can't even, my children are taking care of me. I should be taking care of them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so much negative self-talk, so
Mm-hmm.
much around who I am and what my value is and what can I offer to people.
Mm-hmm.
And that was all based on doing what I could do, and instead of being, because I can be a lot for people without being able to do a lot for people. And so I started to learn more about energy and more about presence. And so what's funny is the neurologist was like, sure, a lot of the injuries on the left side of your brain. He goes, unfortunately, that's where you lived, was the left side of your brain, which is very
Yeah.
analytical, very organized, very well spoken, all that. He said, we need to fire up the right side of your brain to kind of balance it out and make connections so that we can use what's over here to help heal. And I was like, okay, I'm down. Like, what? What does that look like? And he's like, well, it looks like creativity, mindfulness, presence. I was like, what are you talking about? Like speaking a different language. I was
Yeah.
like, what is that? Like I have to sit and meditate? Like that's
a way
gonna be
you've
my
never operated.
No. I mean, I prayed,
Yeah.
but I didn't really go inward to that extent. And he's
And
like,
so didn't identify with that side. You so identify being left-brained your whole life that when somebody says that, you're like, what?
because it worked. It was
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
That's where I just felt naturally gifted. And so he's like, Cheri, just get a coloring book. Just get a coloring book, one of those adult mandala coloring books, and just color, just see. So I got the coloring book, got my little markers. I started coloring, and 10 minutes in, Sarah, 10 minutes, every cell in my body hated it. Like, no, this
That's
cannot
so
be
real.
the answer.
That's so real.
So I ripped up the book. I'm like, even my right side's messed up, and I didn't even damage it. Like, it's so angry over there. So I ripped up the book, and I went back to the. I'm like, this is not working. He's like, okay, well, maybe it's not that. Maybe it's like writing or journaling and reading. Just try other things that are creative. So I went back, and I don't know. I just kind of let go of it. Like, that's not for me. I don't know. There's got to be another way. But one day I was sitting watching YouTube, and this lady comes on, and she's an abstract painter, and she's painting on big canvases. And there was something in that moment, Sarah, that I was like, I get that. She's not painting houses, landscapes, birds. She's painting her feelings. That's what's ending up on the canvas. I'm going to do that. Like that looks like I could leave something on something. Like that made sense to me for some reason. So my parents had just bought a big TV. And so I went down and cut the cardboard out of the box.
Nice. Yeah.
Canvases are expensive.
So expensive for no reason.
And I just wanted to try it. So I got my kids paints from school, like the tempera paints. And I just started painting. And something unlocked in me. I didn't know what it was. I didn't understand it. I didn't know what it was. But my body was telling me, this is good. Just keep doing this. And Sarah, that is such a departure.
Yes. You know what's so bizarre to me is that like it's literally exactly what you just said, that it's such a departure. Like it's just so opposite of everything that you've done, even from like when you said you were a kid, that everything was so like being perfect. You got to follow the right path. You got to follow the right things. And you sit down and do the abstract art, and it's just like literally whatever happens. And that's supposed to look a certain way.
Yeah. And it had nothing to do with my mind.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with my intellect. It was, have you read the book, The Body Keeps the Score?
I want to. I keep hearing about it. People keep recommending it.
Okay, and that's your sign.
Yeah, 100%.
The teacher is arriving.
Yeah, literally.
No, it's an amazing book, and it taught me about how my body knows. My body keeps the score of all my traumas that I had locked away and blacked out and said, nope, that's not serving me. And so I had to do some EMDR work. Have you heard of EMDR?
I've done that.
And it deals with trauma. And because my psychologist at the time, because I was going through brain injury, and I was like, I need some drugs or something.
Help me out.
I'm not well. I am not well. And he's like, well, let's do some EMDR around the car accident, all of this stuff. Well, EMDR just opened a shit ton of other stuff. that I was like, whoa, I didn't realize. Yeah, I didn't realize I was carrying that around. So
Yeah.
your body does remember and it knows what it needs.
Well, I feel like it's like it's like fighting that healing process. Like it's like you're resisting the new reality, you're
Yes.
resisting what used to happen. I don't know. It's and your brain,
Right.
right, that your brain and your body just
Your
aren't connected.
brain. Yeah. But we don't pay attention to our bodies. We're kind of like we have our bodies and we use
Mhm.
our bodies, but
Mhm.
we don't go to our bodies for wisdom.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
our cells have wisdom.
Mhm.
It knows what it needs. And so, I mean, it knows what it needs to eat. It knows what environments it needs to be in. It knows what kind of workouts to be doing. It
Mhm.
knows all this. We just think we try to intellectualize everything and be up here in
Yes.
our heads. And
Yes.
so the next year or two was me dropping down into my heart and into my soul and trying to shut this off, which wasn't difficult because cognitively it was damaged.
Mhm.
And so I didn't like being up here anymore because it
Mhm.
was
Mhm.
scary, unpredictable. I didn't like it. And so I made the journey. The longest journey on earth is the inches between your head and your heart.
Yeah.
Like that's the longest
Wait, I love that. That's a freaking quote right there.
And so I had to drop into my heart, and that helped me. I mean, I was a Christian all my life, but that just next level, like real talk with God and really being me and not being afraid of cussing, not being afraid
Yes.
of showing up, frayed and undone. Like
Mhm.
that's who I am, is I'm
Mhm.
undone. And
Mhm.
sometimes that's too much for people, you know. And
Yeah.
I think I started to learn that when I started to be more me and who God really created me to be when I was a child, and I just kept, putting it in a box, some people it was too much. It was
Mhm.
too much for them. And learning that that's okay. It's okay. I'm
Mhm.
still going to do what I'm going to do. And so all my friends and family who love me as a nurse and, did that whole journey with me and we're so proud of your veteran and blah, blah, blah. And now I'm like, I kept painting, right? I kept painting because it felt good in my body. My husband was like the best cheerleader. And he started buying me paints. He gave
Hell
me
yeah.
this room to make into my studio. He started buying canvases. He's like, Sheree, whatever you need, this is healing. He goes, when you paint, I see the spark coming back into
Oh
your
my God,
eyes.
that's so sweet.
Yeah. And so I was like, okay, we're just gonna, and it looked like crap. I mean, it was I was just throwing paint, throwing paint, throwing paint. So then after a while, it was like, okay, sure, you're painting on big canvases. He's like, do you want to maybe sell some of them? Because our house is starting to take over. Like, canvas.
We gotta do something.
He's like, can you paint smaller? I'm like, no, it's the bigness. I have to do this. He's like, okay, well, maybe we could like sell some. And I'm like, no one's gonna buy this. This is my therapy. Like, this
Yeah.
is literally my therapy that I'm vomiting onto these canvases.
Yeah.
And he's like, but he goes, I think maybe some people would like that because it's just real. You're not trying to
Yeah.
make it pretty. You're just being real. And I was like, mm-mm. I was terrified of even
For
putting it out there
sure.
that I was painting.
Yeah,
But my
100% can see
dad, my
that.
mom, they live here in the neighborhood. And my dad was like, Cherie, girl, you just need to do that because obviously you like doing it. Your husband is getting taken over by canvases. He's like, what do you need to become like a professional artist? And I said, well, I feel like maybe I should go to art school. And he's like, you don't need to go to art school. Like maybe
Mhm.
take some classes here and there, but you don't need like a degree
Mhm.
in that. And I was like, okay, well, I need a studio. I need a good big easel, for my canvases. So my dad came up. It was September 2023. I'll never forget. He came up and he just decked out my studio with me. I mean, we hung lights, we did a big pegboard for my easel, and we had the best time. And we were starting to dream about, well, maybe you should do a business. Like, let's talk about business names, and so we had a really fun week of doing that
I'm curious, like, why do you think you were resisting that so much?
because that perfectionism still lived in my head.
Mhm.
And I couldn't imagine being criticized for something that
Mhm.
was so raw.
Mhm.
Like the
It's too
paintings were so
vulnerable.
raw. It was so vulnerable. It was
Mhm.
so cheerleader. I couldn't imagine putting it out there and someone being like, that looks like shit.
Right.
Like,
Right.
what are
Right.
you doing?
She'd be
You
like,
are
hey,
not
that's my
learning.
trauma.
Exactly. It's not supposed to be pretty, people.
Literally, now my trauma's not good enough either? Okay, cool. Sick. Love that.
Exactly. Just bury me now. Oh my gosh. And so my dad was becoming this cheerleader. He was just like, I think you can do it. And he's just very pragmatic. And he's just, I loved him. Anyways, that Sunday, my parents love going on RV trips. And I'm telling you this story because it lands.
All right, I'm ready.
So that Sunday they went on an RV trip. They loved RVing. My dad loved to go fishing. Never caught a fish, but he loved. I mean, he's caught some fish, but usually it's like, Dad, what'd you catch? And he's like, no, nothing.
Something like this.
I caught some bait. And he would always, I think he just loved being out there. I mean, it was his church. It was like,
I've
he
always
just
said
loved-
fishing's so meditative.
Yes, I think he just loved, he didn't care if he caught anything. Like he just loved being out there. And my mom loved RVing with him and they just loved being in nature. So they went out up to the Washington coast. It was about 3 hours away. And I was texting with him Sunday night and I was like, you guys, they're safe. And he's like, yeah. And I said, hey, I came up with like a prototype of a logo, maybe look at it. And so I sent him a picture of it and he hearted it. And this is where the story takes a very traumatic turn. So trigger warning. The next morning he goes out and he goes fishing on the jetty and a sneaker wave kills him.
Oh my God. Shut up. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so, oh my God. Like that's so sudden. And like after he was being such a big cheerleader for you too. I mean, that's insane. And before he got to see it play out.
Last week. Like,
Yeah.
It was just such an especially special week that I had with
Wow.
my dad. And we always did projects together, but that was like cool because it was my studio.
Yeah.
And so anyways, we thought he was missing because my mom, and a long story, he was missing for several hours. Coast Guard, and they were like, when people are taken out to sea like that, they generally aren't found. And so they called off the search, and I finally got there to be with my mom. And like 10 minutes before I got there, I called her and I said, hey, I'm 10 minutes away. I'm almost there. And you can only imagine my mother is by herself this whole time. And my dad's not there and she doesn't know. And they're saying that he's dead. Like he's just gone. And so they left a police officer chaplain to sit with her until I could get back. And all the crew was still there. They were just kind of finishing up. And I hear her screaming, he's swimming, he's swimming, he's swimming. And I'm like, what? He's alive, he's alive. And then the cell phone cut out because she was on the beach and it was just terrible service. And so I'm like, oh my gosh. So we get to where she's at. And then, no, right before I tried to call her again, I kept trying to call her back. Finally, she answers. And I said, Mom, what is happening? And she said, he's dead. Like, just said, he's dead. And I go, well, what do you mean? Did you see him? Is he there? She said, yep, he's dead. He's dead. And she just was so, just matter of fact, like dissociated from the whole thing. And I get there, my mom is just beside herself. We're just trying to figure out, okay, what do we do? They did find my dad's body. And the whole time, like, he was missing, and how did the body, I didn't know what happened, but I just knew they had him. And so I said, please, can I see him? They're like, he's kind of beat up from being out in the water. And I said, I'm a nurse. I promise I won't faint or, I just really need to see him. I need to know it's him. And so they agreed. And I went into the back of the ambulance and got to just see my dad and say goodbye and tell him I loved him. And, Sarah, the look on his face was so peaceful and his eyes were open and he had the bluest eyes. And he just looked like it's almost childlike, the look on his face. And so I closed his eyes and For some reason, I went into nurse mode. When I first got into the ambulance, it's like my body and my mind just went into nurse mode and I just started assessing.
Sure, I could 100% see
What's
that.
broken?
Yeah.
What's disfigured?
Yeah. How can I fix this? Yeah.
What happened to you, Dad? Like, why are you dead? And I quickly, because they had his head, it was kind of like a blanket was all around him because he was coming out of the water. And he had a massive head injury. So the coroner came and I talked to him and he said, Cheri, I think he was fishing on the jetty. The sneaker wave came and knocked him down. He hit his head on the rock. And that's what took him out. And he likely died instantly, which was a relief
Thank
to me.
God.
'Cause
Yeah.
the whole time he was missing, I thought, is he just swimming out there?
That's what I was
scared?
worried you were going to say. Yeah.
Yeah, like he was drowning. Like
Mhm.
all the bad thoughts come. But to know that, I mean, it was a massive head injury. And so I thought, oh gosh, he would have died instantly.
Mhm.
So anyways, we get my mom, the RV, we get her back to a hotel for the night because we needed to figure out how to get my dad home. And that night, I mean, my mom, from the time we got to the hotel, which was, I don't know, around 4 or 5, till like midnight, she just cried and cried and cried and cried and just didn't speak words, just cried. And I'm trying to make calls, and one of my really good friends is with me, and she's trying to help with the boys. And about midnight, my mom stops crying, and she goes, I thought your dad was alive. And I said, yeah, I called you and you said he was alive. And she said, yeah, I thought he was. But when I ran down there, I realized he wasn't swimming because she thought he was swimming. She went into the water to meet him, but the police officer pulled her back and said, it's too dangerous. I'll go in, because he saw him too. And she said he wasn't swimming. 2 sea lions had him, one by each arm. And they were
What?
swimming. I know.
What?
I know.
What? Oh my
2
God.
lions came and pushed him into the surf right to where my mom was standing on the beach. It's crazy.
What is
It's
that?
crazy.
What is that?
Miraculous.
That's the coolest thing. Yeah, literally, there's no other word for it.
It's like Old Testament miraculous.
Yes, like quite literally, yes. Like that's crazy. Someone
Yes.
was looking out for him and you guys.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That gave me chills all over my whole body.
I know. Every time I talk about it, I'm like, did that happen?
Holy
So
shit.
we were able to bring him home the next day. We have that arranged, and we got to bury him with full military honors, and it was really beautiful, and had the send off that I think he would have really, really enjoyed and got a kick out of. So go back home. Life starts to settle down, but you're just in this grief.
Yeah.
You're just, people that, like, my mother-in-law had died 3 months before. So we dealt with her death, but her death was a very long illness. We had a lot of time to say goodbye and to take care of her and love her and say all the things that needed to be said. And her death was just so beautiful. It was a beautiful death. And then for my dad to die like this was just like another whiplash. Like, oh my gosh, what is happening? And about a month and a half after that, I was feeling sorry for myself and like, well, here I am again. What am I going to do? And I hear my dad, I just hear him in my heart. Get off your butt and go do the thing. Go do the thing we're talking about. And that night, I signed up for a business license. I started with my website. I said, I'm just going to do it. And it was so cool because I didn't care what people thought anymore.
Yeah.
I didn't care. Like, this is just my life.
Yep.
You can like it, you can hate it. I don't care.
And things just fucking happen. And so, like, who cares?
Who
Yeah.
cares? Life is too short and too fragile, honestly, to care anymore about what people think.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Yes.
And so with that, it was like armor. I was like, okay, I'm going for it. And I haven't looked back. It's been such a ride. And here's the crazy thing. About a year after, I was painting for about a year as a professional artist with my, with my storefront. And that girl, that woman I told you about that was on YouTube,
Yes.
painting on canvases.
Yes.
I I took some classes from her here and there, but not like one-on-one, but like through webinars or whatever. Anyways, I got selected to be in her Studio Elite program, and she became my mentor.
Get
And
out.
so 5 years before, she's painting, and I'm watching her on YouTube, lost in my
Yeah.
life.
And it just
Life.
came up, right? Like it wasn't like you searched
It
for
was
it.
just came up, and I just stopped, and I go, oh, that's interesting. You know,
Yeah.
when the student is ready.
Yes.
And so she's been able to walk with me on this journey and help me become a professional artist and help me with the business side and how to critique my own paintings and how to grow in my paintings. And so that's just really helped me go deeper into, Cheri, be honest, don't perform this. Don't perform this. And then about 6-8 months ago, someone said, you should be on a podcast. You should like tell your story. And I thought, oh God, no, that's really putting it out there. And
Spoiler alert, you do it.
Yeah, I did it. And it's been so good because what I'm learning is everyone has this story. Everyone feels like this. It doesn't look like my story. Everyone's is different, but we all feel lost. We all feel like we have to reinvent ourselves. We all feel like, what is our purpose? We all have grief. You know, life is so more similar than it is different. And that's, you know, kind of heartbreaking with what's happening in the world. It's like,
Yeah,
we have to
man.
see that. We
I
have
know.
to see that we are more alike than we are different. We want the same things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it just looks
Yes.
different on how we want to get there. And so my life exploded. It got uprooted. But now I can say, I am so grateful for brain injury. If I lived my life again, I would hope it would happen again.
Wow.
Because as awful as it was, and it was painful, and as much as I thought I was going to lose myself in that moment, I don't want to be that girl the day before I fell. She wasn't half of who I feel like I am now.
Hell yeah.
I mean,
Hell yeah. That's so awesome.
so real and not caring about what people think, that makes room in our minds and in our souls to love so much harder.
Yes. Yes.
And so we're like, I'm just gonna love the crap out of you.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And if you don't like it, then we're not in alignment. And then
That's
like it leaves
right.
room for people that are.
That's alignment is so important. But if we don't spend time, and so one thing that I teach little seminars here and there on creativity and healing and intuition, especially for us girls, is strong. But we have to, in order to trust someone, you have to spend time with them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's with any relationship. In order to start trusting our intuition, we have to spend time with it.
Yeah. Oh my God, Cheri. Yeah.
And so that's where meditation comes in. That's where being quiet. That's where finding the music that just resonates with your soul, where you can just sit and be quiet and listen to that wisdom that's inside of us. And not just talking to our past selves, because I do that a lot, like going back to that little girl and saying, honey, you are safe. I got you. I got you. You're not going to get hurt anymore. You don't have to be perfect. You could be messy. You can be a tomboy, whatever you want. So I talk to my past selves a lot, just in that healing journey. But then it occurred to me, we can talk to our future self and learn from her.
Oh my God. Yeah.
What do you want me to know right now for where I'm going to be in the future?
Yeah. Oh my God. I've heard people say that, like, what would your higher self do? But I love the perspective shift of talking to your future self, like talking to your past self. Because I do the same thing. I talk to my past self and I talk to my present self.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Always talking to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's so cool. It's so cool. And then this year, I in January, I saw another YouTube, or it might have been Instagram, about mind movies. Have you heard of mind movies?
No. Mm-mm.
So it was a person who was very wealthy, who did not come from wealth, but created their wealth, saying that she created these mind movies on Canva. You just go on Canva and you make little snippets of videos of how you want your life to feel, not how you want it to look, but how do you want your life to feel? And so I started putting like, I want it to feel abundant. I want it to feel like flow, like the abundance comes and it go, I'm just the vessel. That's what and so a lot of water things are in my thing. And then that made me think, my dad died in water. It's like all
Oh.
these connections started to come. And anyways, I want to travel. I want to feel expanded. I want to meet people from all over the world. I want my art to not just, I don't want it to be pretty. I just want it to be real so that when someone looks at it, they're like, oh,
Hmm.
I know what she was doing there. I know what she was feeling there in
Yeah.
that moment. And those marks mean something to them. I wanted to be with my husband and be playful. Like I didn't want us to just slog in our lives and just
Hmm.
make money. And I wanted to play again. And so I started putting all of that in my mind movie. And interestingly, I put a little clip in there about being on a podcast.
Yeah.
But I throw it in there and be like, oh, that might be fun. I don't know. Let's see what God does with that. I'm telling you, girl, I had not traveled because brain injury, it's hard to travel when
I
you
could
have
see
brain
that.
injury. This year, just this year, so I made that in January. In March, my husband and I went to the south of France, and then we went to Greece, and then I went to Austin to meet my mentor and stayed several days there. And then we went to the Caribbean with our whole family and our best friends and their family. I went to New York City with my son. I went to Hawaii for the first time in my life with my
Holy
brother.
shit.
I know. And then my husband and I went to Australia in August.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
And
Now,
you
and
know what I would think is we don't have the money. We don't have the
uh-huh.
time. We don't have
Uh-huh.
all these things start to come up. But if you just put it out there and say, Lord, this is what I want. I don't know how we're going to get there. We don't have to know how. Half of those trips, I didn't pay for a lot of it because it was either points or my brother was working there. And so the hotel was covered. Like, we don't know how things are going to happen. We just
Hmm.
have to move towards it and
What's
believe it.
I think what you're describing is so cool because I think a lot of people when they hit that like rock bottom, that plot twist moment, they think like there's like all this pressure to have that like glow up that you were talking about and have
Yeah.
this breakthrough. And I
Yeah.
like that what you're describing is just letting the new self show up, like letting them play out and be there without forcing
Yeah.
who that person is.
That's right. Because I think we will be so much more surprised at who that person really is. It's so
Right.
much bigger. It's
Mhm.
so much bigger than we can even
And
imagine.
you're such a good example of that with like the just completely transitioning, like just the left to right brained idea
Yep.
alone. Like
Yep.
that's crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just two totally different ways of
Yeah.
living
And
your
you don't have to
life.
have a brain injury to do that.
No,
You
yeah.
know, paying attention, like, where do I live? Like, some people live in their right brain. So maybe doing a little something in the left,
Hmm.
just to fire those connections because our brains are miraculous. I
Hmm.
mean, it's
Hmm.
amazing what our brains can do. And so, yeah, just allowing. I think that's the posture is instead of fighting and like hanging on to everything,
Stiff, white knuckling it. Yeah.
let it go and just allow what's supposed to come, be who I'm supposed to be, even if I judge myself. Like,
Hmm.
why do you cuss so much, Cherie?
Hmm.
I don't know.
Hmm. Story of my
Sometimes it's
life.
the only way I can get across what I'm trying to
Yes, yes, I relate to that so much.
and I did read an article that a lot of really smart people cuss, so
Ah, see? Hell yeah. I love that. I feel like I've heard my whole life about it's that your vocabulary isn't good enough if you're
yeah,
swearing all the
yeah,
time. And I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know, I just is my favorite way to
Sorry.
express myself.
How can you say you're a really good Christian? I'm like, dude, you don't know the God I know.
You don't fucking know.
You do not know.
That's amazing.
So to
I
live in that freedom is a gift. It's a gift.
it's I'm wondering what your take is on like authenticity versus that like performative vulnerability that people kind of partake in.
Performative vulnerability is difficult. You feel it taking the energy from you.
I feel like at first too, you also feel like it's real.
You do because you want to believe that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then the more you do it, it drains you.
Mm-hmm.
Authentic vulnerability is hard, but it fills you.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
if you just sit in whatever you're doing and you're wondering, am I being authentic or am I being performative? Just sit and ask your body, how does it feel? If it's feeling drained, that's performative.
Mm-hmm.
If it's authentic, it's hard. Both are hard. Being vulnerable, not easy.
Yeah,
Not easy.
yeah,
And we
yeah.
don't want to be vulnerable, but that's where the magic sauce is.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the magic is to
Mm-hmm.
just be vulnerable and be honest. Girl, I started writing a book, my memoir. Ooh, it's kicking my butt. It's
Yeah.
like, are you going to be honest or are you going to perform?
Mm-hmm.
Being honest is going to be real hard, but
Mm-hmm.
it fills me because it's truly the truth. It's it's
Mm-hmm.
it's all of me.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can look in the mirror and sit in our souls and accept all of us in our authenticity, it's almost like it becomes easier
Mm-hmm.
because it just is, right? It's nothing we have to create. It's nothing we have to make. It just is.
Mm-hmm.
It already exists. We just have to allow, and align.
Yeah,
Because we
absolutely.
have to be around in the right environment for that authenticity and that vulnerability to come out. Because if you're in the wrong environment, it's not going to come because you feel unsafe.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
so
we
real.
have to feel safe, and so we have to look at our relationships. Am I safe? And that's hard.
Yeah,
That really is
completely.
hard. Yeah.
I'm curious, like, what do you think needs to happen to become someone new? Because obviously we don't want people to have to experience trauma and these plot twists and stuff. But when we do, we are so grateful because they are so developmental. But do you think that it's possible to, I mean, I guess now I'm just thinking out loud. I guess at the
Mhm.
same time, I think that like everybody experiences their own form of roadblock or plot
Yeah.
twist. So maybe
Yeah.
being able to like jump on those opportunities, or like what do you think needs to happen in order to become someone new? What's your opinion on that?
I think if you have that niggling, like that little something new's coming, like we know that, and it comes down to intuition.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so if we want that in our lives, and now I want it forever. Like I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if I'm going to be a painter forever. I don't know what's going to be down the road. But I do know that if I stay connected and developing my trust with my intuition, I'll be on the road I'm supposed to be on.
Mm-hmm.
And that is my highest good. And it will always be about connection. I know that about myself. It will always be about people. It will always be about loving. That is a through line in my life that's never changed. It just
Mm-hmm.
looks different now because I'm not performing that and
Mm-hmm.
draining myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm allowing it. And so I think people don't need these traumatic things, although when those things happen and they look different for everyone, it's messages. I
Yeah.
didn't know that my brain injury was going to bring me my best life.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it ruined me. I thought
Mm-hmm.
it destroyed me. I was so angry because I thought I had a pretty damn good life,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I had no idea what
Mm-hmm.
was still waiting for me. And so now that I am like, okay, I've tasted that a little bit. Like I'm a baby in that class. Like I'm just now learning, like, okay, it starts with my intuition and my connection to the divine, which for me, I don't ever know what I'm painting. I don't go to a canvas with an idea of what's going to be there. I don't know. I'm an intuitive painter. I just do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that it comes from outside of myself.
Yeah.
It's an energy that flows through me. And that's why I know there's got to be people out there that need it. Because it can't be just for me.
Yeah.
It's not. Anything we do in our lives, it can't just be for us.
Yeah.
We are made to be in community and in
Mm-hmm.
connection with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe changing mindsets to whatever you're doing, whatever your calling, whatever your gifting is, and just kind of changing your mindset into it's not for me. It's for the world. It's
Yeah.
for everyone. It's
Yeah.
just that I get to be the vessel. And that's so cool.
That's
It's so
so
cool. And
cool.
there's no pride or, because I can look at a painting that I've done, I'm like, that is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that I'm such a great artist. I'm just saying God is
Look at
amazing.
that.
Look
Yeah.
what he did.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not like this pride or ego. I totally know I don't know what I'm doing.
Totally. 100%.
But that's okay. Who does? Who knows what they're doing?
That's what I was just gonna say. I think it's like we put so much pressure on ourselves for it to be like the right thing to do. Like I'm gonna become a painter. I'm gonna start a podcast. Whatever
Yes.
somebody's thing is.
Yes.
But really, it could be like that's why people like to be mothers, or that's why people like to anything. It's
Yes.
just following your gut and not putting so much pressure on yourself to be doing like the cool thing or the right thing or
Yeah.
whatever.
I mean, Sarah, look at what you're doing. You're doing this podcast.
Right.
This conversation is creative. It's
Mm-hmm.
creativity in
Mm-hmm.
action. We are creating something that wasn't there, but now is there.
Right.
And you are putting that out into the world, and it's
Mm-hmm.
helping people. It's resonating.
Right.
Someone needed to hear something that we said today.
Right.
I needed to have this conversation.
Me
with you,
too. Right. Completely.
And
Yep.
so it's so big, we can't even fathom. We just
100%.
can't imagine how big this is. All we can do is the next thing, the next step. And I think that's where presence comes in. I did not know what that meant before.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what presence meant. And it's not an attitude, it's not a feeling, it's a being of just being in the moment right now. Like, I mean, sometimes on podcasts, I don't share the story about my dad,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
It's just being in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because for whatever reason, it wasn't meant for that conversation.
Yeah.
And now I've developed my intuition to trust it instead of being like, well, you don't know what you're talking about. I got to say it. I got to, that's an amazing story. That's exhausting.
Yep. Yeah,
That's
for sure. For sure. 100% it is. Oh, hell yeah. I would love your advice on what advice would you give to somebody that was experiencing an identity collapse?
Take a breath.
Yeah.
Take a breath.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like you can't see. When you're in it, you can't see.
100%.
You're just blinded by the pain, the loss, the grief, and you just can't imagine rising up out of it. And so just being kind to yourself, and imagine what would you say to your best friend that's going through that.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of all the things I was saying, like you're useless, you're a burden, you're not going to be good for anything anymore, blah, blah, blah. If my best friend had an identity collapse, what would I say to her or him?
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, you got this. And I got you. I'm with you.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to figure this out.
Mm-hmm.
So saying that to yourself, just being really kind to yourself and saying,
Yeah.
okay, I got this. I don't know what tonight is going to bring. I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring or what 10 years from now. I don't know, and I don't need to know.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we fall short. We feel like
Me
we
too.
have to know.
Mm-hmm.
We have to know what's
And
down
it's so
there.
long term.
Yes.
You're thinking so far in the future.
Yeah. I want to be a 6-figure artist, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, that's just a thought. It's
Mhm.
just a thought. It's an
Mhm.
idea. But what am I going to do today to take one step towards that? If that's what I want, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Have dreams. But break it down to, okay, today, I think I just need to lay in bed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What am I going to do today to make myself feel good?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And listen to your body. It knows. Practice that. Just, what do I need today? Because some days with brain injury, I'm firing on all cylinders and I'm getting stuff done. Other days, I wake up and I know instantly it's not firing. The neurofatigue is too big. And so I'm like, okay, girl, you're just going to sit and watch YouTube.
Yeah.
And you're going to get yummy snacks.
Yep.
You're going to let your husband pamper you.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, I got to do this and I didn't get this done. Because he'll come home sometimes and he's like, you had a brain injury day. And I'm like, sorry, nothing got done. He's like, shut up. I don't care.
I love that.
You're starting to listen to your brain. Because, when we push our bodies beyond what they're capable or wanting, they start to become ill.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we have so much inflammation in our lives. We have so many inflammatory diseases in our lives. Autoimmune is skyrocketing. It's because we're pushing our bodies beyond what they are needing. And we think it's being lazy to take a beat, to take a breath. And it's not, it's honoring. It's our culture is busy, 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 go, 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 24/7, you're on. It's killing us. It's really killing us. And so eating the good foods, but not being maniacal about it. Like, oh, I got to get this many, proteins and cut down my carbs. And it's like, oh
Yes.
my
Yeah,
gosh.
too much pressure, always putting way too much pressure on ourselves. And that does not work, especially for people like you and I who have lived that perfectionist
Yes.
lifestyle.
Yes. It's so heavy.
Yeah,
That's a heavy burden to carry.
yeah,
And now I just look around and I'm like, what do I want? Sometimes my body literally wants broccoli.
yeah,
Cool. I'm going to
yeah.
eat broccoli. But sometimes it wants chocolate chip cookies.
And that's what I'm going to be eating. Yeah,
And that's okay.
100%.
I'll eat those too.
Yeah, completely. Well, I'm curious, like, because, like, in light of the intuition and following that, when you are given this path that you don't choose, did you feel like, do you feel like there's any sort of like, you have a hard time trusting the path?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, because it's so unfamiliar
yeah,
and foreign.
hmm
It's like we live our lives in these patterns and we get really good at living in those patterns
hmm
and what we plan for ourselves. I want to be married. I want to have children. I want da 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 da. And that part of my life fell in line with what I wanted for
hmm
whatever reason. Because many
hmm
people, they don't find their partners. They can't get pregnant. Something happens where they're having trouble getting pregnant. So many things can derail us from what we want. But when you are knocked off your path and you're set down on a new path and you don't know which way to go, how to walk that path, am I even supposed to be here? Like
hmm
I feel
hmm
lost, literally lost. I think of being in New York City, and it was just this past summer. My son and his friends were off, doing what they do. I was so excited for that. And I just wanted some alone time just walking around the city. And I got a little lost. And I felt like, okay, I could freak out or I could get really excited. Because what am I going to see? Because I didn't plan on going down this road.
hmm
What am I going to see? And so I think I relate that to I could have gone either way with my life shift too. Freak out, which I did. I did freak out. I did. I had to be medicated. It's fine. Thank God for medication.
Amen.
I did. But then I was like, okay, that's not working. I don't like it.
hmm
Maybe I could be excited. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing, which takes the pressure off because you're like, I don't know what I'm doing.
hmm
I don't
hmm
know. So I'm just going to take one step and then another. And when people are like, well, what are you doing? What's your goals? What's the outcome? But I don't know.
hmm
And it's okay to say, I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know I don't know where all this is going. I don't know painting. It just fell into my life and I'm trusting that it's doing good for me. So if it's doing good for me, I'm going to believe it's going to do good for the world.
Yeah.
And so taking that breath and being like, okay, I can freak out, which is fine if we need to freak out a little bit.
hmm
But then circling back to, you know, anxiety attacks and excitement are so close.
Oh, yes. Yes. And they feel exactly the same inside your body. Yes.
It's just a
hmm
different idea. Like getting
Yes.
on a roller coaster feels like a panic attack.
Yes. Yes. Completely. Yes. Going on,
They
I
are
even think like the
so
stress of like vacation and like all that kind of stuff.
yes.
You're getting on, and it's like you want to go on the trip, but like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
suddenly your chest and your throat are like so tight, and you're like, "What's happening? I don't know why I'm upset."
And I forgot my Xanax. Now I'm really screwed.
Literally.
I know. But it's so fascinating to me that they're so close. And the only difference between them is our mindset.
Yes.
Our mindset. It's like, oh my God, how powerful that is.
hmm
How powerful. And so really letting your mind marinate in not knowing and being okay with that. It's like, I don't have to know why. I don't have to know how, because I will never get the answers to those in this life. I won't know why I had a brain injury. I don't know why we've had miscarriages. I won't know any of those answers, but I don't have to. I don't have to, because today I'm doing whatever it takes to get to the next thing. And even if it's moving the needle just a teeny tiny bit,
Mm-hmm.
that was what was meant for today. And
Yeah.
if we can just love the crap out of people on the way, that's a good life.
Hell yeah.
That's a good,
Absolutely. I
yeah.
love that. Okay, to wrap us up, I've got 9 rapid fire questions for you.
Oh,
I
okay.
play a game with my guests. It's called Kinda Toxic, Kinda Well. So
Okay.
the point of the game is to highlight that even though you've moved through your healing journey and you feel so much better now, that we all do still experience some of those toxic thoughts sometimes. A lot of the
Yes.
time, though, too, because you guys are so healed, you've got good answers to the questions. So whatever you feel called to say, I take
Okay.
any answer. Okay,
Okay.
amazing. What or who are you jealous of right now?
Oh. um, I think artists that have found their people,
Love that.
have found their collectors, the people that get them. Like, I want that. I
Mm-hmm.
want that. I want that so bad. And I think I'll get there. I'm on my way. But I do.
Amen.
I look at them and I'm like, man, I don't
What
want
the hell?
that.
Yeah. When's the last time you sacrificed your own wants or needs to keep the peace with others, even though you didn't want to?
Like right before this podcast.
Amen.
I think as a mom, we're just constantly
Yep,
doing that,
I get that.
It's just it's a state of being. But I think the difference now in when I'm doing that is recognizing when I'm
Hmm.
doing that and being
Hmm.
able to say, guys, I'm out.
It's not happening.
Mama's going on strike. I need to
I love that. What do you find yourself overthinking about these days?
Oh, Lord, Sarah. I think I overthink. This is crazy. I overthink being present.
Ah, that's real. That's a good one. I do the same thing. I will be in and I'm like, I know I want to like appreciate this moment right now, so I've got to figure out how to feel that. Yes.
It's so crazy. I'm like, am I crazy? But I'm glad you said you know exactly what that feels like.
Completely. Yep.
I do. I overthink like just being mindfully present, and then I overthink it, and then
And
I'm
then I'm
not
like,
present.
wait, I'm not even here. I'm fully in my head thinking about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. What is a should, like an expectation that you've put on yourself that you've let go of, or one that you know you still need to?
The one that I let go of is I should be responsible for other people's happiness.
Good one. That's a
I
good
lived
one.
my whole life being the person that I put on myself, that their happiness was my responsibility. Obviously, there's no way I could do that, but I worked damn hard my whole life trying to make that happen. And now that's not my pay grade.
It's outside my pay grade. Amen. What's something that makes you quick to get annoyed or angry?
when when people don't get it fast enough.
Yeah.
Or like, are you an idiot? Like what's wrong with you? Like,
Hello?
I don't get it. Like,
Why don't you grab
it's
me read my
so
mind? Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
I get so annoyed. And then I'm like, Sheree, you're so mean. Like, just stop being so mean.
I love that. What's a toxic thought you still catch yourself believing?
I'm not worthy.
Mm.
I feel like, there's this there's these veils right between two opposing thoughts that are so close together. Like, I feel like I'm not worthy because my life is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, trying to feel worthy for goodness
Mm-hmm.
instead of worthy for the work. Like, it's like there's that fine line of the humility of accepting grace and mercy because, we need it,
Mm-hmm.
um, and feeling worthy and knowing that God would allow goodness and his love no matter
Mm-hmm.
what,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what. I
Mm-hmm.
can't do anything to piss him off.
Mm-hmm.
I can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just loves. And so
Yeah.
that word I struggle with, like, I want to work hard for your love. And he's like, dude,
You're good. Yeah. You can just exist. Yeah.
yeah, just be you.
Yeah.
Just be you. Yeah.
Yeah. What's a wellness rule or trend you don't buy into?
Ooh, a wellness rule or trend. Self-care.
Tell me more.
Self-care has become an industry.
Yeah.
Like,
So real.
you know what I mean? Like, go and do
Yes.
your self-care and get your pedicures and manicures and listen to your music and go out and,
Green
do girl
smoothies and
shit.
yogas and yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And money is being made because self-care,
Yep.
but they're not doing the damn
Do
work.
these 5 things and then you'll be confident. And everybody's like,
Yes.
I want
I
that.
hate that.
Me
It's
too.
like you're misleading people.
Yes.
Like, yes, do the self-care, but it shouldn't be sparkles and unicorns and rainbows. It should be hard. It
Yep.
should be facing yourself.
Yep.
That's self-care. It's like, look at the inside. Like, if you need a latte to do that, but then do the work
Yeah.
around self-care.
Yeah.
It shouldn't just be this, I don't know, this aesthetic,
Yeah. Yep. I also feel
Self-care
like it shouldn't be so regimented. Like we're like, okay, I'm gonna do this every single day until the day
Oh
I
my
die because this influencer said this is the routine that worked for her. And it's like,
money.
relax.
We're buying
Relax.
into these ideas.
Yeah.
It's not about that. It's not. So real self-care is hard, and it's sobering.
Yeah. Yes.
But it's
Completely.
so good for us. And I'm not saying I don't love getting massages and all
Of
that. But
course.
it's the whole self-care industry thing that I'm
Yes.
like, I'm
No.
not buying
Don't love it. Yeah, for sure. So, last question. If you could leave my wellish friends with one piece of advice on becoming more well than toxic, what advice would you give them?
Take a minute today, just a minute or two, and do something that feels honest to you. Like truly honest, whether it's scribbling on a piece of paper, whether it's going into your closet and just screaming everything that's pissing you off in the moment, whether it's taking your dog and making out with it like it's the only thing alive.
I love you.
Whatever feels true to you, like really true to you, do that. Whatever it is. And if you don't know, just sit for a minute. For me, I like Palo Santo. I don't know why, but it's magic. I love it. It makes my brain go, we're meditating. Or we're going to
Yep.
be creative now. It's just the
Yes.
smell of like Pavlov's
That-
dog.
I'm the same. I'm the same exact way. It's like suddenly my whole body is like,
Yep. Like, what are we doing? Here we go.
Yeah.
Something's happening.
Yes.
Palo Santo for me. And that didn't, I mean, obviously I never did that that was not a thing that's very woo. Like that's woo. But now, oh man, I've got a whole box of it back there.
Hell yeah.
I light it and I'm like, and do you light it down to the nub?
Pretty much.
Like,
Yep.
Yeah. I can't waste it.
No, I will not waste
It's like
it.
this big and I'm like lighting it.
Literally 100%. And every time I'm like at any store and I see the boxes of them, I'm like, I think even though I've got like so many of them, I'm like, should I buy more? Like,
Maybe I'll run out. Maybe I'll really
right.
need.
What if there's an apocalypse? I'll die without it.
Then I'll be, is it ethically sourced? Like, where is it sourced from? Is it ethically sourced?
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I think if you can just do one true thing for yourself today, just today, that will move the needle to you just becoming best friends with your intuition.
Hell yeah.
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 Sherry, where can people find your work? Like, where can they find you and all your art?
Yeah. I have a website. It's carandanisfineart.com. But I'm really active on Instagram and Facebook. Not so much Facebook, but more on Instagram. And that's just Carandanis Fine Art. So it's at Carandanis Fine Art. I just joined Substack community. I didn't even know
Ooh,
that.
that's exciting.
And so
Also just
that's
learned about it.
fun. It's
Hmm.
so good. Like scrolling on that feels good.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah,
it doesn't feel
completely.
bad.
Yes.
So I am on Substack and just kind of dipping my toes into that. So yeah. And anything that comes up for me, whether it's exhibits or workshops, things like that, or it's always on my Instagram and on my website. So
Okay,
I'd love to
amazing.
see you guys and join my community by, I send out little newsletters like behind the scenes and studio stuff.
Yeah,
So it's
definitely. I definitely think there are some of your community members in my listeners. So I have full faith
oh.
with everything you
Well,
said
the
today.
connection here is so good. Like I don't even want to go off the call because it just
I
feels like
know.
sisterhood.
It does. I know. I love being in alignment. It's one of my favorite feelings in the entire world. Thank you so
Yes.
much for this, for real. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. It was a lot of fun. It was a
Yeah.
lot of fun.